Welcome everybody to another episode of the world of pets with Debbie Hayes, which is part of the World of Ability Podcast Network. So this is going to be a fun show since it's all about our furry friends and kind of as crazy. I like an animal house, so I am going to turn it over to Debbie here to get us going.
Good, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we know that we want our pets to feel safe with us. We want our pets to feel our unconditional love just like we feel their unconditional love for us. We also want them to live a good long life, but we want that to be a healthy life. And that's something that David, my co-host, and I have found. A supplemental mushroom, not the kind that will make you high, but a supplemental mushroom that can boost the immune system. And if you're well, keep you well. And if you're not well, then get you well. In many cases, we have many testimonials. So this evening, because we don't push our products a lot, we just want to learn everything about pets on our podcast. And sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, obviously, about our pets. But we want to learn a lot. And tonight we want to learn a lot from Dr. O. And his topic is chiropractic care for animals. So, Dr. O, thank you.
You bet.
I appreciate you coming.
Glad to be here. Always happy to talk to people about their pets, whether you come in my office or not. So, yes, author of the book. Yes, it's really a thing. It's on Amazon or on our website, either one. But yes, it's really a thing, animal chiropractic. I am a veterinarian, have been a veterinarian for 32 years, and I had the honor of having an autistic seizure disorder, and I was allowed to be his father. And most people just say that, oh, I have a kid that has handicaps, but it's actually an honor to be the parent of a special needs child. And so I had that honor, and I was trying to find a way to help him, and everybody had a way. And like you said, some people don't push, but some people push too much. And so I would investigate all these different modalities as to what seizures, what would help with seizures. And of course, a lot of the books that you can buy on homeopathy and herbs, you get to the chapter on seizures and it says, seizures are a serious condition. You should consult a naturopath in your area. And I was like, I just want to know why. I just want to know why it would work on seizures, So anyway, I have a degree in veterinary homeopathy. It helped some. Homeopathy helped my son some, but not a lot. And then somebody said chiropractic, and I didn't know the questions to ask. And if you don't ask the right questions, you don't get the right answer. And so I would call up chiropractors and say, hey, do you treat kids with seizures? And they, of course, said no. And I was like, okay, well, somebody told me that they did, so I guess I'll just call another one. And the question is, do kids with seizures need to be adjusted? And the answer is, any animal that has any problems needs to be adjusted. And the reason is that the nervous system and brain control every function in the body. Okay? Every function in the body is controlled by your nervous system. And so when we don't have adequate feedback and all systems aren't go, then you can't function right. On your leg just wrong, and it goes to sleep. And you stand up and you look like a drunk trying to walk, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's just a lack of communication between your brain and your foot. Your brain can't tell where your foot is. And it's a vertebral subluxation. And if that stays there too long, we're going to have problems. What we do as animal chiropractors is go in, find these vertebral subluxations, and restore the communication. You know, I'm sure everybody listening has had a significant other, a friend, somebody at the grocery store call you up and say, "Hey, do you need anything? Do you need anything?" And you go, "What? What did you say? I can't hear you very well." And they say, "I'm at the grocery store. Do you need anything?" And you're like, all right, what are the chances they're getting the right 5 things from the store? You know,
By memory, you mean?
no, that they actually heard the right 5 things and they,
Oh, okay.
you know, like she said mushrooms. I wonder what kind of, I'll bet, did she want portobello or the baby ones? Or, oh man, those ones look good. I'm going to get those mushrooms. and And you said, I need the special mushrooms, the ones that boost my immune system and help. They're not in the produce aisle. They're over in the health aisle. But, you know, what are the chances that if I only had 1 bar on my cell phone, I'm bringing the right mushrooms? What about I think she said cat food, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was cat litter. Well, I don't know. All right. So if you've got 1 bar on your cell phone, there's no way you're getting the right 5 things. So think about if you only had 1 bar's worth of signal going from your brain to your heart, from your brain to your liver, and from your brain to your gut. What's the chances that your food's going to get digested, your blood's going to get pumped, and the liver? Well, yeah, he didn't hear. So, you know, he's not doing anything today. And guess what? We're sick. We're sick because the brain can't tell the liver what to do. And the liver can't say, hey, I need to do this. And it's getting toxic down here. I need some help. And the brain can't do anything about it because it's not communicating properly. So what we do is we go in and remove these vertebral subluxations. And I'll only remove 1 or 2 the first time. And people are like, I'm like, well, yeah, that's all I'm going to do. Because if I do too much on the first visit, we go from 1 bar. So, and I bet if Emily would jump on here, she could really attest to this. But, you know, if I'm just barely whispering and then you, so that I'm really loud, Emily's going, ah, trying to keep the sound at a nice level tone, right? And that's your body. If it gets no signal, your brain's struggling to work, and we do too much at once, all those toxins get released and the body can't handle it. So we like to just go gradually and start into it. So maybe the first time I see a pet, we may see it maybe 3 times in the first week and just 1 or 2 things and let the body start to get used to that stuff.
So,
Go ahead.
question. So is your entire practice pets now, or do you treat pets and humans? I mean, obviously you said you're treating your son, so he's a human, of course.
No, I never did treat my son. I am a veterinarian and always have been a veterinarian, but understand why I should run with a chiropractor. I mean, they're the biggest quacks you can hear of, right? Everybody knows they're quacks. So I had to learn about it, and they're not quacks, you know.
No, they're not.
So my practice is almost 100% chiropractic only. The first thing I do when you walk in is I look up
You're cutting out. You cut out that last part, Dr. O.
The first time you come in here, I look up every drug your pet is on. And we talk about side effects. And
Excellent.
the reason that we do that is, so what's your dog's name, Debbie?
Little Bob.
Little Bob. All right. So I've got this here, all right, that 1 in a million dogs will die if they take it. The others do fantastic. Okay?
Yeah.
Are those good odds or bad odds?
Well, strictly from an odd point of view, they're good odds. Are they good odds when you want your pet to survive? No.
No, they're not, because it's 50-50. Somebody's dog is going to be that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but I don't want it to be my dog.
I don't want it to be mine either.
So let's not use it. Those are too high a side effects for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't like that. Don't like that at all.
But they were
So,
prescribed by some other veterinarian, right?
yep, all prescribed.
Who's probably not holistic.
Usually not. Yep.
Safe. Okay. Go ahead.
Yep. So we look at those, you know, and I can't, you realize how many times I'll read the side effects, you know, wobbly gait, inability to get comfortable, shakiness. And they'll be like, yeah, that's exactly what my pet's doing. I'm like, well, those are the side effects of the drug that you're on. And they're like, what? Well, those are the side effects. Well, why would they put I don't know. I wasn't there that day. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is take them off and we're going to adjust them. And we're going to do that 3 times. Now, we may do that if a dog was hit by a car. We might do that 3 times. We might adjust him. And if he's getting better, then we're just going to continue doing that. We're not going to add anything else. If he needs some help, then we're going to help him. We may give him some fluids. We may do some other stuff. But we're going to base on treatment. We're not just going to go, oh, he's got XYZ. We're going to always treat that with this because we never know.
Uh-huh. So
I know if there's a bone that's not moving right in your dog's spine, it's got, because every one of those bones should move. You know, if this is my hand moving and all of a sudden I got, you know, there's one finger, you can see it's not moving, can't you? That one finger has loss of function. So I need everybody to think about the 5 guys. You've got 5 guys that hang up together, sometimes at the local bar, sometimes at the local park. Sometimes in our town, they're always at the local. gas station. You know, there's 5 guys in there. They're playing cards someday, checkers someday. Some days just sitting around drinking a cold water. But there are always those 5 guys in there, right? There's never 4, never 1. There are you know, Debbie. Can you picture them? Yep.
Yes.
Everybody's got them. All right. Their names are Sharp. That's their. We put all their names together. It's Sharp. There's swelling, heat, loss of function, redness, and pain. And they're always together. And they're the cardinal signs of inflammation. And if you've got one, how many do you have?
At least
How many
5.
are there? All.
At
They
least
never
5.
come alone, do they? Yep. They never come alone. So if your dog hurts, all right, you touch him, he's got pain. Guess what else he's got? He's got swelling, heat, redness, and loss of function. Sometimes in different varying degrees. You know, one guy may try to be going home, and the others are going, "Come on, stay well." Or one guy might be late to the party, and he's just now getting there. But they're all together. And so when we have loss of function, we know we have all those other guys coming around. And those guys are the ones that cause the problems. Because in 4 minutes, they cause a reduction in nerve flow. And
Wow.
up to 50%. So you know when you on your leg wrong, like we were talking about earlier, and you wake up and that leg's asleep, how would you like that if that was your spleen? Yeah, maybe not a big deal if it was your spleen that went to sleep, right? We don't know what, I mean, how many of it is even working? But how about if it was your gut that went to sleep?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Maybe if it was your dog's gut that went to sleep, maybe you'd wake up in the morning and he'd have diarrhea. That's not good.
Yes,
You know,
very true.
nobody wants to wake up to that. So
That's right.
that's why it's so important. And we try to teach our clients that come in how to recognize vertebral subluxations. And I talk about it in the book about how you can tell if your pet has vertebral subluxations and how to find a chiropractor that knows how to adjust animals, because not all chiropractors can adjust animals and not all veterinarians can adjust animals. So you've got to look.
How many would you say? I mean, do you have an idea, say nationwide, how many there are that are capable of doing that?
There's probably about 1,200 nationwide. But I tell you, if you can't find one, the best way to get one in your community is just ask and your veterinarian when they're going to get started doing it. How come you don't do it? You know, because they may not even have thought about it. And, you know,
Right.
say, hey, how about if we put a sign-up sheet in your lobby that says, hey, we'd be interested in animal chiropractic care, and if you offered it, and then your clients sign up if they'd be interested. And, you know, if you get 10 or 15 people, throw a call and he can help you get started. We do run a school for veterinarians and chiropractors, one of 5 in the country that helps veterinarians and chiropractors pass a national certification exam in animal chiropractic. And that's a good is called AVCA, the American Veterinary Chiropractic Association. And they have a list of find a doctor in your area.
Okay.
So
So when you're looking for somebody that that you're thinking might be a good candidate, a good veterinarian in your area, does it help to be approaching somebody that has that holistic interest?
It does, but we've had veterinarians come to. In fact, we've had 3 veterinarians come in, and one of the things that we honest, one of them we learned out 2 years later, but first time they're here at the ranch, we flat out ask them, "Why are you here? Why did you come? What's your why? Why do you want to learn animal chiropractic?" And there's a lot of reasons. I had 3 of them that said, "I came to do animal chiropractic because I wanted to prove that work."
You wanted to prove what? I'm sorry, you cut out a minute.
Work.
Prove that it did or did
Wanted
not
to
work?
prove work. Yep. Kind of like me when I was looking and trying to figure out, take somebody, why I should do homeopathy on my student. They were like, "Well, I know this, but I don't know why it can't work. So I'm going to go learn about it so I can prove it doesn't work."
Uh-huh.
All 3 of those particular doctors have now almost exclusive animal chiropractic practices.
So you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Yep, you can. Yep.
That's what it amounts to, I guess, huh?
Actually, there's proof in the pudding, huh?
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
We adjust a lot of animals in class, and so the doctors that come to class, they get to adjust and they get to see things happen, and real life dogs. We got paralyzed dogs come in, and then the next month when these guys come back, they see the same dog and it's walking, and all that happened was a chiropractic adjustment. So, yep.
Yeah. So do you do any alternative, other than the adjustment, any alternative treatments?
We very seldom do because we find we don't need to.
Okay.
We do. I have the ability to do acupuncture. We have a huge repertoire of homeopathic remedies here. We have 400 homeopathic remedies. We have a cold laser. We have bunch of herbs. We have all kinds of stuff. And what we find, so I had a mentor that used to, when you came in, they threw everything. You got some of everything, and your dog got better. And you're like, "Well, which one was it?" "Well, we don't know." So your dog's better. Do you keep doing all that stuff, or do you take something out? And we kind of take the other version to try to save you some money, get response to therapy. And so what we do is we adjust your dog, and great, we keep adjusting. And then when we get to where we're adjusting once a month or so, see how your dog's doing. And that if that's all we need, that's all we do. A lot of times the first thing we do is, if we're going to change something, is diet. It's very hard to supplement kibble. Every bite of kibble is inflammatory to your dog. When they cook it 160 degrees, the omega-3s turn into omega-6s, the omega-6s turn into omega-9s, and the 9s turn into crud. And it's just hard to digest. There's no enzymes in it. It will sit on the shelf for a year and a half and not rot. The biggest joke we've ever tried on a dog, this stuff will sit here for a year and a half, And digestion is nothing more than controlled rotting. Would you agree? I mean, we just want the food to rot and decay fast. So it won't rot on the shelf for a year and a half, but you got 12 hours. Ready, set, go.
Mm-hmm.
And we know it causes
Well,
inflammation.
that's why the company that I partner with has, sorry, go ahead.
No, is it freeze dried or raw or?
I was just going to say that's why the company that I partner with has, this is the kibbles, and there is freeze dried as well. But the with the kibbles, very small bags, so that it does not sit on the shelf for a long time. So it is cooked at a low temperature, but it is cooked.
Anything above 118 kills the yeah.
Pardon me?
Anything above 118 kills the digestive enzymes.
Okay.
And then the body has to make enzymes to digest the food instead of having the enzymes come in the food, which most food that I eat, well, everything in nature comes with its own digestive enzymes. Otherwise, well, the grass would never go away. We'd mow it and it'd just sit out there. The roadkill, it has help, but guess what? Eventually it's gone, right? Stinks for 3 or 4 days and then it's gone. So it digests. And so that's the same thing. And when we to too high of a temperature, then the organs in the body have or produce extra enzymes in order to make it work. So that's the first thing we usually do is change diet if a dog's having a lot of trouble holding their adjustment, because that kibble that's we know that a 20 omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acid ratio is inflammatory. 4-to-1 is what the diet should be. And most Westerners, most people living in the U.S. that eat a traditional, United States type diet,
right?
And in fact, people ask about eggs all the time. Are eggs healthy for my dog? It depends. Cage-raised eggs, like you normally in the grocery store, are 20-to-1, omega-6, omega-3.
Okay.
So raised eggs, they're definitely healthy. If you're getting cage-raised eggs, they're probably not so healthy.
That's very good to know.
Yeah.
So you recommend dietary changes as well as doing the adjustments and other supplementary.
If your dog's not having any problems holding their adjustment, if we can go once or twice a month, and they're maintaining their health, then whatever you're doing is fine. We're not going to change anything but their nervous system. Now, if we start seeing some issues, then the first thing we do is diet. And everybody says, oh, it's too expensive. I can't feed that raw food. I got to feed the cheap stuff. Well, by the time you add enough supplements to overcome that cheap stuff, for most people, it's cheaper. No.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
We actually had a lady that won a bunch of dog shows. And so she got free dog food from a major company.
Yeah.
And we kept trying to get her to change, and she was like, nope, it's too expensive. Can't do it. And we were in her kennel facility, and we were adjusting the dogs, and I looked up and see a recipe board of what every dog gets on top of its kibble. And so I took a picture. I went home and I added up what it cost to supplement.
Uh-huh.
She would have been better off using the dog food, the name brand dog food as fertilizer, and just feeding a quality, commercially available raw dog food.
Yep.
But you know,
Yeah.
it is. She was, yeah.
Well,
We travel.
what a lot of people don't realize is that the three major manufacturers, like the parent company, you know how most things are, there's a parent company and then several layers below. But M&M, Mars, Nestle, and Smuckers. Did you know that?
Yeah. Mhm.
Those are the three
Yeah.
parent companies that make not about 95% of our dog food.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that I don't have any problems with the stock market, but they are driven. You know, for my dog, I prefer not to have a company that's being driven by the profit margins that they can pay to their stockholders, as well as somebody that's going to actually look at the ingredients.
Right.
So,
And I have a lot of people ask me about, well, can't I just make my own raw dog food? And I'm like, man, I'm not smart enough to do that.
but then if you do, then
Because,
the problem that you were talking about before, it has no prebiotics, probiotics, etc. in it. And by the time that you add those things, then you've got the cost right up there. Why go to all the trouble of doing it?
right, yep, it's just so much easier. And there's so many companies now that will deliver it right to your door. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's there's ones farm to table. There's Barf World. There's a couple others I can't think of right now.
That's all right.
Yeah, Farmer's Dog does it. There's just a bunch of them, that come right to your table, right to your door, and so why you don't have to go to the grocery store. We don't have to worry about you calling me when I only have one bar on my cell phone and telling me to get dog food, and I'm like,
right, exactly.
Like, oh, that place she likes to buy dog food is way on the other end of town. I'm just gonna get what this place has,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's yeah. So
Yeah.
no, and so we very seldom do others. Now, every once in a while, we'll have a dog that we have to put a bunch on. We're starting to supplement a lot of our spayed animals now with some sex-specific hormones, either
Okay.
estrogen or some testosterone,
Uh-huh.
and we're finding that makes a big difference in skin issues, maybe some of the chronic pain issues.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to tell if there's stories about how it helps prevent cancer. That's always a hard one to prove.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If I do this 3 times a day, and I never get acne, I guess rubbing my head worked, right?
I guess. Well, we do we do our supplements through the use of the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, which is the
Yep.
like the king of mushrooms, called the king of mushrooms for a reason. And there's been over 400 studies done. And you were talking about studies that Penn State actually did a study on dogs with cancer and found that the ones that were on that particular mushroom lived twice as long as the other dogs,
Right.
the control group. So there are studies. We do have them out there, and I do encourage people to take a look at debspets.com and go to the website of the company to see what's available for the dog food. It is delivered right to your house. So, yeah. But thank you.
Cool. Adjusted.
Yeah.
When you get your dog adjusted, it does 10 things. It increases their immune system function by 400%. It optimizes their sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system so that they react in a more appropriate way to adverse stimulation. So there's some behavior problems it helps with. It helps every organ in the body function better. So no matter what process it is. And there's a recent study out that says that the chiropractically adjusted brain handles white noise better. Now, what's white noise?
Oh.
It's everything that goes on in the background. And normally we think of white noise as being annoying, right? Because it goes, but it can be important too. When's the last time you told your heart to beat?
I don't think ever.
Because it's
not consciously. Not consciously.
It's a background white noise situation that your brain is taking care of. But we know that if your dog's chiropractically adjusted, it does it more efficiently.
Excellent.
So put your thumb up. Put your thumb up.
Yeah.
All right. Count over 14 cells from the side. Okay.
What now?
Count over 14 cells from the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. That one right there. See that cell right there? Okay. It's hungry. It's hungry, so feed it. So go ahead and tell it to eat. Okay.
Eat.
Whoops. Eat. This finger over here, it's got to go to the bathroom. So tell it it's okay. It can go to the bathroom. All right. If you're really good, how many cells do you think you could get to eat, drink, and go to the bathroom every second? Maybe 10?
I have no clue. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you could get to 10, all right. You have 32 trillion cells in your body. It would take you 32 years to tell each cell to eat, drink, and go to the bathroom one time. Okay? Aren't we glad that our brain handles all that background noise?
Yep.
And that's why the chiropractic adjustment is so important, because it allows brains to take care of their white noise in an efficient manner. And then, yes, we can add the mushrooms. And guess what? If it's an adjusted brain, they'll know exactly what to do with that mushroom. And it'll help even better.
Yeah.
So, you bet.
Yeah. That seems great. I'm going to ask around and find out if there's any vets around here that do chiropractic.
Where are you at? Where are you located? Where are you located?
Southern Arizona.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch.
Tucson. Arizona.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, really?
Look up Dusty and Tekla Fuller. Fuller.
Okay.
I know. I just talked to them last week. So, yep.
Oh, good.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And
thank you.
Yep. Emily, would you like to close us out here?
She's only got one signal.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you, Emily.
Have a good night.
Yep. Emily, you're going to close us out here?
Yeah, I'll get myself on stage here. I'd like to thank Dr. O for coming on, as well as to recognize our partners of Marcus Hart, Transforming Media, Zach Clayton of the Pack Channel, Lawrence Wingate of Wingate Studios, Jay and the Disability Channel, for their support of network on our shows. But we are here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Central. So I encourage everybody to tune into our YouTube channel, other social media. If you'd like to be a guest, to let us know. You can make that happen. But until next week, have a safe and productive week and just stay happy.
Thank you.